for you. Today you join me on a quick little mini taster review on Middy's Reactacore elastic. Now, moving on later, month or so, we're hopefully going to get his hands on the Middy M2 margin pole. So that's where most of this elastic will come into action. For me, there's quite a lot of heavy elastic. Now, it's got a unique design that even though it's heavy, it still has plenty of stretch in it. Now, I've used the older Reactacore elastic and Middy elastic in the past and really got on well with it. It's always been a reasonable price for what it is, and it's always been a good substantial amount. So there's 5 meters in each to start off, which is mostly good enough to do 2 kits, which makes it really affordable. The price I'll put up on screen now. Then I've got a selection. It's not the whole range, but it's a good substantial amount of the range, covering different styles of fishing. Now, like I said, a lot of these are the heavier elastics that I not normally use, but when we get the M2 margin, we can stick them in there and we can really go after some really big pigs. Probably we'll go on strip when the spawning's over and go for some really stupid sized fish. But I'm going to go through what ones I've got and what colours they are. So like I said, they are 5 meters. This one is an 8 to 12 or a 1.6 mil. It's hollow elastic, so you know it's really stretchy. But this one has got a micro bore inside, and so you've got your outer hollow and then an inner hollow, and it makes for super stretch, but it does power up really well. It's almost like a hybrid elastic in the way that it powers up, which makes it super durable. So if you have a little look on the back, this may explain a little bit of how it looks inside, if the camera gets it. So and again, it's all elastics are different colours, and the Middy ones have always been quite a bright colour. Now the 8 to 12 is what I'm going to stick in to put in one of my kits for the map to use for a little bit of shallow fishing. So with an 8 to 12, it's got the strength of a 12 or power up, but it's also got the durability to pull out and swim out of the swim. Now, when you're fishing for F1s on bennings, they do pull back quite hard, and they do go up into £3 plus mark. So it's really important that you've got elastic that will power up and it's not going to take you all over. And especially if you're fishing a match, you don't want to be wasting all day trying to get 1 or 2 F1s in. So then you go down to the thinner end, and this one is 4 to 6. So again, this is more of your winter fishing or your silvers fishing, maybe eyed fishing, or you still can catch small F1s and things like that on there. But again, it comes with that durability, that flex, that power up that maybe the little elastics won't cope with. And that step up from the 12 is 14 to 18s. So you can see quite obviously this a definitely more thick elastic. Now what I'll do is I will pull out the one that I'm going to put into the pole, and we'll give you a little bit of a stretch and hopefully try and zoom in on the end piece and see if you can see it. Now these two is some things that I never use in the past. For the educational piece, lots of manufacturers make them, and it's not wrong to make them. It's just that I don't use them. So I put them in the M2 when that comes, and they're a 25 to 30 and a 20 to 24. So these are big old elastics, and under very snaggy areas where you put very strong line on, and obviously they will be definitely testing out the M2 severely by the look of it. It's like cable, but still it's got that technology where it's still got that stretch in it, so it's not that it's a solid, and it will have stretch in it. But again, with the 5 meters, it's really good because it just gives you that two top kit kind of amount, which is brilliant. It's always good to have more than what you need, and I use them sometimes to do other things with as well, like if you can use elasticated feeders. I always make things that can hold your elastic better, you know, all sorts of things. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in and you can see it closer. Right, so I've got the elastic here. It's very difficult to obviously see the end of it, even if I get it close to camera. It's very difficult to focus on. There we go. You can see that inner core that's in there, and it is hollow, but it's like that dual lead, and the stretch is really good. So if we get sort of 2 inches there, we can see with that 2 inches you're looking at least 5 times the stretch. So that's really decent, but you can still feel that power up on there, which is really important. And in this instant, you know, I can take the fish out of the swim, strip back, get the power on, and then we can end up landing the fish. And it just feels lovely. Now, there's lots of elastics out there, and this is not me just saying that this is the only elastic, but it is a decent price, and you get double top kits. So 1 pack will obviously do 2 top kits, and if you got 1.8 metre shallow kits, you may get 3 if you do them tight, and if you're really resourceful, you may get 3 or close to 3, but you can always use the trims to use for other things. Now I'll show you actually while I'm here. So I have got a box full of stuff. So I've got a box full here of just odds and ends of elastic. There's loads and loads of bits and bobs in here that are various stuff that I can put to trim, and this was a bit of cabling that came out of one of Glenn's poles when he ordered it. Now I always have things in from monster baits, from pole nose bungs, and I also have connectors and things like that in there. I always have an elastic connector. I always have a puller bung. Not that most tuckers I ever have a side pullers, but sometimes you get a free match kit in there, and there's no puller bung in there. I have old connectors. If anything needed drilling, then I always carry a spare roller puller bush in there, so that can go in. And then I have various other manufacturer Dacron connectors in there as well. So it's always good to keep all those bits. I have this older Middy high-vis solid in there in case for some different maybe, I don't know, more edge rigs and things like that where it's a little bit more solid, and it's good to have all those in there and just to keep them going, so you can always go refer back, and if there's something that you need to tie, or you only need a small bit of elastic for something, and in here there'll probably be elastics that are full-size top kits that if I didn't have any elastic and I want to help somebody out on a bank, I've got the elastic to help somebody if they've only got one section and they've pulled it all through. I can usually have the stuff in here to help people on the bank, which is what it's all about. So thank you very much. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. I know it's a minefield out there with elastics, but for me the Reactacore one is as good as any out there, and I really do like using the Reactacore elastic. I've used it in the past. I'm looking forward to trying it out, and it's certainly the higher ones will hopefully be really good for down the edge. And just before we finish it off, what I'm going to do is just pull a little bit of this really silly 25 to 30 out and see what the actual stretch is like on it, because it does look like cable, as you can see. But you can still see it does stretch. It is you know, strong, but I mean I can do it pretty easy. I'm sure a bigger carp can, but it's still got that stretch in it, which is quite impressive actually. You know, when you've got such thick elastics, that is really superly sized elastic, but still has that stretch in it, which is really important. So if you want to join us in the Facebook group, now we're at well over 6,000 members on there. We can share any questions that you'd like to ask, any posts, you know, photos you'd like to post, little mini videos, live feeds that you do. That'd be fantastic. and you know it's an environment where it's not banter orientated. So if you ask a question, don't be worried about that. It'll be answered in an honest way. And if you want to join us on Instagram and just post your photos, then that's okay too. And you know we've got a good community on there also. And if you want to join us on the YouTube and look through our playlist, there's lots of things that are to do with reviews. There's lots of things that are to do with features, and all sorts about different methods and back to basics. All sorts of stuff for you to look through there. So that'd be fantastic. And if you want to like, share, subscribe, that'd be brilliant. We're nearly at 10,000 subscribers now, which is a massive achievement for us, which we're looking forward to, and also be giving a giveaway on that. So thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, guys, tight lines.